Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your host, Aisheey Verano here. And today we have a special guest, Tanya, who's a fashion blogger and influencer. Hi, Tanya. How are you, babe?
Hi guys.
Is the audio perfect? Can you hear me well?
I can.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so today, guys, we have an interesting topic that we want to talk about. So, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of going out and being randomly touched by certain men. I don't understand why men feel like they're entitled. Can I just say, disclaimer, please, before you start coming at me in the comment section? By men, I mean some men. If this does not apply to you, I'm glad it does not apply to you.
Yeah.
But if it does, you need to check yourself. So, yeah, so today we're just going to be talking about some of our experiences in that and why we think men feel entitled to just touch women, or some men feel entitled to just touch women, however they feel like it really. So, yeah, Tanya, what do you think?
Well, I feel like it's a thing that is kind of common in clubs. Like the frequency, it's ridiculous. Like guys always just feel a lot. Let me not generalize. Most guys, they feel like they can just do it and get away with it. Like some people might
Mm,
even do it and just laugh. And I'm like, what is funny?
yeah, like
Especially
I
like
used to
those ones
joke.
that would maybe just grab your ass or something
Mhm.
for no reason. And I'm like, why would you do something like that? Like that's crazy. So yeah, it's actually a
100%. Like I don't like I've been at clubs in the past and I'll literally just be walking in. The next thing I'm getting slapped on my ass. I'm getting held at my ass. I have to look back and be like, who the hell did that? And then you see a bunch of boys just looking and smiling. And I'm just like, it's funny how this is funny to you. This is funny to you all. This is smiley. This is cool to you all.
Mhm.
But like if someone did that to your sister, I bet you will not have that same energy.
You won't
Or your
have
daughter. But it's just
Mhm.
like I feel like I'm just so fed up of the whole entitlement mentality. Like, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want to do. It is my life. Well, it's not your body. You can't go around touching people. And I don't know
Exactly.
if you've heard some people say like, oh well, she was dressed in a certain way and stuff.
Yeah, they'll probably say, "Oh, like your skirt is short or something." Like, why won't you expect me to do this because of how you're dressed? And I'm like, are you
Mhm.
stupid? Like, you can't act in that way just because of how someone is dressed. And that even raises the issue of how when sometimes when people get molested or raped or something, and then they start blaming the person and saying, okay, this happened to this person because of the way the
Mhm.
person was dressed
Mhm.
or because of how they perceive the person. Like maybe they perceive the person to be cheap or some, I don't know what they're thinking, but I
Yeah.
feel like that is not a reason to do that to somebody. You
Mhm.
don't have the right to do that to somebody regardless of what you think. Like it's just not okay to do that without anyone's consent.
100%. I think
Exactly.
it's like, regardless of what you wear, that does not vitiate your consent. Just because I'm wearing a short skirt does not mean I don't have the right to my body. That doesn't mean I don't have the right to consent. It's like, I don't really get that. It's like, and sometimes you get people say, oh, well, it's a club. What do you expect?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, no. I went out so I can hang out with my friends without being bothered.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the issue is and why, people feel like, oh no, an opportunity to touch you is what they're looking for. And it's just like, that's just not on.
Like it's so sad. The worst one is I think I can remember one time this happened to me in the club
Mm,
and some
wow.
guy tapped my ass or something and he
Wow.
literally tried to run off, but I caught up to him and I'm like, what the hell? Why would you do this? And I told him to apologize like
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And then he was like, sorry. But luckily for me, he wasn't a violent person because there's some
Mm,
people that they've been in situations where they would confront someone that just touches them unexpectedly like that, and then the person could hit them or something or threaten them. So like I feel like in that situation I was lucky, but I was angry at that point. So that was
Yeah,
my instinct
rightfully
to go
so.
after the person
Mm-hmm.
and confront him about it. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to come do that, or even if they do, it turns into something else. So
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah, I think for me, I've had so many different experiences throughout my life, and it's so crazy and upsetting to say that I can't believe that it's a thing to this day. You know, it's just it's bizarre. Like I remember, you know, at college, I remember like parties that I went to in college, like when I was what 16, 17, and like people just do that unprovoked. And you then look at years down the line in a club setting where most of the people are older, you know, to enter into a club, I believe you have to be 18. So you would expect like there should be a level of maturity and at least a level of some sense that you think, okay, well, maybe, you know, act like you're a little civilized, you know. And you would think at 18 you should understand the concept of consent and things like that. Like for example, there was one time that I can really remember that was such a horrible experience. I remember getting home that day and thinking, wow, people are crazy. Like I was just like, yo, don't fam. I didn't want to go anywhere after that. I'll be honest, for like months, I just wasn't in the mood to go anywhere. Because I just thought like, how do you get on thinking this is cool? Like, so what happened was I was at a club and I was just there chilling with a friend of mine, and who also brought her friend. So it was three of us just chilling, just talking, dancing. Next thing, this guy comes towards me. I'm thinking, it's coming closer towards me. You know, naturally I move a little bit because I don't know you. You know, like you can't just, when someone is coming too close to me, I always step back because I don't know why you're coming that close to me. Like there's a thing about personal space for me. It's like you're right there. Do you get like you're like it's just like you could kiss me. Why are you so close? So I naturally step back. So then all I know is someone grabs me and I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? It's like, oh, he wants to dance. And I'm thinking, wait, you're grabbing me like that because you want to dance. That's even the way he held me, and I was like, that's fine, but I don't like being touched by people I don't know. You know, I was so nice and polite about it. I was just like, I just don't like being touched by people I don't know. And he's like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I just don't like being touched. Like it's not a thing, you know. And then he's like, what do you mean by that? Are you saying that I'm smelling? Da da da. And I'm like,
what does that have to do with anything?
I just don't like being touched. Anyways, he went mad. He went bizarre and started saying all sorts, called me all sorts of things in the book, then said that I was, he was like, he was going to kill me. He did this to me. I was like, he's going to kill me. And like did the gun sign at me. I was like, he was going to kill me. And I'm like, yo, because you grabbed me, you did not even touch me. You grabbed me. I was even trying to be nice and say, see, I don't like being touched. And you still proceeded to cause problems because I said that I did not want to be touched in that way. Do you know what I mean? And he just went bizarre, was talking about how he's going to kill me, and then was trying to come at me. And I'm thinking, what the heck? So then I'm just like, I'm going to take a step back. So I walked out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get some air. I'm going to just leave his presence. I don't even want anything. So I'm outside getting some air. You know, I told the security because I was like, the way he was coming at me, like proper aggressive, like he was going to hit me, man. I was thinking like, yo, this guy really wants to hit me because I said I don't want to be touched. You've called me all the names in the book. And the interesting thing is sometimes I like, I don't even recall going back and forth at him about him calling me names. I was just like, I don't see why you're getting angry, right? When it is basically like, I don't see why you're getting angry. I was just like, I don't see why you're getting angry. I just said I don't want to be touched. I don't understand why you're so angry about it. Anyways, I told the security, right? Because I was like, okay. Actually, no. Then he came at me, as in physically came at me. So I pushed him off and then I moved myself out of the way. So I then told the security that, okay, this is what happened, just bear in mind. And I said to the security guy, he also said he was going to kill me, just so you know. Do you know what I mean? So if anything else, Exactly. So if anything else kicks off, just know that, this is what this guy said to me. So then I come outside, I'm getting some fresh air. This guy comes outside too, then tries to come at me. But then because the security guys knew, after I told them, they actually just literally stood in front and tried to break it off. Right? So then one guy comes up to me and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No one should treat anyone like that. It's just not right, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what? Let's leave this club and go somewhere else.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, but my heart, I didn't feel cool about that. I was like, I'm not going anywhere after just experiencing this. No, I'm not leaving to go anywhere. First, I don't even know you. So that's a no, right? So I'm thinking, I'm just not leaving to go anywhere. Guess what? So then this guy, turns out they're friends.
Oh, wow.
Turns out they're friends, sis. So he gets into the car. Then that guy gets into the car with him. So what would have happened?
That's so scary.
Exactly. What would have happened if I went in with him? What would have happened? They would have taken me somewhere and probably done all sorts.
Oh my God.
Because I was just like, the way he was acting, like, who's that guy? Why would he ever do that? Blah, blah, blah. Only for them to all be
So
together.
that means he was probably just acting and trying to lure you into his car or something. Wow.
Exactly. And I was just like, this is not how people can get away with this. So then when I was like, do you know what? I'm going to take a picture of your number plate, because if anything happens to me, especially, I don't know if you guys are going to be waiting for me when the club ends, whatever the case may be, I'm taking a picture of that. And it was just crazy how, even with the experience, the so-called people that I was with, were not even supportive. It was almost like he was just trying to was just trying to touch you, like it's not that big a deal.
How is that not a big deal? Like,
right, that's what it felt like. I didn't feel like I had the support. Like, for example, when I went outside, I was by myself outside. When the so-called people that you're with, they'd have been like, oh, okay, wait, I saw what happened. Let me at least come outside and make sure she's good. But no, you're inside having fun. You want to have fun. You don't want to be disturbed by this issue. So yeah, whatever. You're doing your own thing. And I'm thinking that could have gone south just because you're grabbing me and I'm like, please, like, I don't want to be touched. Like, I was even cool to have a conversation with him. I just didn't want to be grabbed and forced to dance. That is not a thing. But the way everything panned out, it also just made me realize that there are always these sorts of people that, yes, female or not, that they sort of have a feeling or have a mindset that it's okay. They're just like, what's the worst thing? He wanted to, he grabbed you. You should have just danced with him and that would have been the end of it.
No.
I feel like that's some of the people's mentality. And it's just like, at the end of the day, I should be entitled to do what I want with my body. Exactly. Like if I'm at a club, that is not an invitation to be touched, grabbed, whatever. It's not an invitation. And I just feel like that's why I wanted us to sit down and make this video, because I just thought like sometimes if you're one of the people listening today and you have a mindset thinking like this is okay, it's not okay. Like, I don't understand. You are dancing at a club. The next thing, someone stands behind you trying to bend you over. That is not acceptable. Like, I don't understand why people think it's acceptable. Like, it's a different thing if I know you and we have that vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have that, like, every time we go out, we always, like, hang out. You know what I mean? We dance together. That's different.
And even if you have that vibe that you dance together, you would ask me first.
Exactly. You'd be like, do you want to dance? Exactly.
Yeah,
you should ask my consent. Like, even if we have that vibe, I'm dancing, bending over, whatever, with myself, right? And then you want to stand behind me, you should come up to me and be like, oh, hey, sis, do you want to dance? Like, or hey, babe, hey, whatever you call me. Do you want to dance? Yeah. Not like, I'm just randomly. And then when I move, you make it seem like I'm just trying to be intentionally angry, you know? Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it's just like, it feels like a rant. Like, I don't know if you've been walking on the street randomly and like a guy has like stopped you and just like tried to harass you. Have you ever experienced that before?
Of course, like, do you know what? First of all, for me, like, for example, with the club situation, on a normal day, I'm not even really into dancing with guys that much. I
I
actually
know, exactly.
dancing with females, because sometimes, if you've noticed, sometimes when you're dancing with a random guy, sometimes they feel like they can just move their hands like
And grab you and
anyhow
touch
they
you
feel.
anywhere.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. And then immediately I stop dancing if I feel uncomfortable. So that's why I feel like people should learn how to actually ask someone question, like ask people questions so they can consent. Ask them, oh, do you feel like dancing? Would you like to dance with me? And
Exactly. And if you don't
you
want to
can't
dance,
just grab someone and expect them to just start busting it down, or like, I don't know you, like, you can't just do that. Do you understand? Like,
exactly.
it's just ridiculous. And then the other one about like randomly passing a guy and they just grab you. Like, there was one time I was in a club and I was walking past some guy and he just grabs my wrist and I'm like, what? Like, leave me alone. And then he goes, am I your mate? I'm like,
you grabbed me.
what does
Then
that
you must
mean?
think
Like,
we're
exactly. And do you know what? This thing is too common. It has happened to, I know it has happened to a lot of females a lot of times. It's not something that you just go out today and then it doesn't happen after 1 year. Most times when you go out, things like this happen. Like, some guy will just feel like they can just grab you, grab your ass, smack you up. But like, I don't like that. And I feel like, I don't think there's anyone that likes being randomly touched or spanked or anything. Like, it's just disgusting, to be honest.
It really is. Like, I think I was on Instagram like a couple of days ago and I saw this thing that, a lady did. And she was basically saying like responses she's gotten to like men trying to touch her and stuff. And then they'll just be like, oh, you're ugly anyway. Oh, your ass is flat anyway. We're only trying to manage it for you. Just things like that. And I'm just like, whatever the case may be, don't touch me. It like I don't. It's not hard. Do you get like stop touching people, stop harassing people. Like I can't tell you how many times I felt unsafe with like just those sorts of experiences. Like for me, even one time it happened to me on the train. There was this guy who kept coming at me, trying to touch me, and I could smell alcohol in his breath as well, and he was really drunk. And you know what was annoying about the whole thing? No one helped me on the train. It was like he would walk up to me and almost like fall on me. I would move. He would come back and try to touch me. I'll move. Like it was like we're playing hide and seek on the train. We're moving. People were moving out of the way.
Wow.
People saw it and we're moving out of the way. They didn't even think maybe we should call the police because this is harassment. Maybe. Like, I can't call no police. I'm here being harassed. I'm trying to avoid a guy falling over me and touching me. And you guys can't even, like, have the, like, I'm not even saying do much. Just tell him to get off me or call the police. Do you know what I mean? Call the police or something. It was just so uncomfortable. So this guy, as soon as I got off the train, he followed me off the train. So I'm walking really quickly. It's like a big station. So I'm thinking, perfect, he's not going to find me anymore. So I'm walking. The next thing, I still see that he's following me. So I see this really, like, I saw this guy. He looks at me, looks at him. He immediately knew something was wrong. So as soon as I saw from his, his reaction that he was like concerned, I walked up to him and I said, see, this guy's been following me. And like, I'm just trying to avoid him because he keeps following me. And then the guy said I should stand next to him, and then he told him off, and that was it. And I was just like, that could have been nipped in the bud by someone,
Exactly.
Clearly, he wasn't listening to me, but he saw this hench, really tall man telling him to back off, and then he did. And I'm just like, sometimes I feel like, we watch certain things happen when we could have at least like helped to diffuse the situation. Now I understand that he could have had a knife. You don't want to get involved. Fair enough. Call the police quietly or something, because anything could have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking like for me, there's been so many different experiences, sis. Like, there have been experiences of even, like, you know, being followed around my house. And then, you know, I ended up going into a store because I was like, okay, surely the security can help me. So I walked into the store and, you know, was being followed and stuff. And the thing is, people might think, why can't you call the police? If this person is right here and you're there, please explain to me how you're going to call the police.
Exactly.
And be like,
they might attack you or something.
Exactly. So sometimes I think people think, oh wow, why can't you call the police? Well, the proximity is so close, you cannot call the police. You gotta run and create some distance first before you are able to do anything. So I walked into the store quickly and thinking like, okay, the security guy would intervene. The security guy then intervened, and then he was like, oh, I know your family, you better back off. So that's what he said to the security guy, and I thought, wow, okay, cool. So I was like, I'm gonna have to play it a different way. So I eventually came, he's like, oh, you know, I've been trying to talk to you, blah, 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 on a rah thing. I was like, please, bro, like, honestly, bro, like, I had to be begging. And I'm just like, imagine how many sorts of situations like this that certain women have been, you know, been through. Like, I can't lie, for like a while, I didn't want to come out of my house because I was just like, this is not on at all.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like this is just not on. Like, do you know what's so interesting? I'm sure someone watched this video and be like, why is she always getting harassed? But I even have other experiences. Do you know what I mean? Going to the park to sit down, the next day I get harassed.
I feel like it's not about, you know, people always victim blame a lot. It's not about the person. It should always be about the person that is the creep, that is doing
perpetrator.
Never ever, like, people should stop victim blaming when things like this happen, because these are things that happen regularly. And I feel like victim blaming enables these people like to do these things and just get away with it, because someone will be probably blaming the girl like, oh, see what she wore, oh, she's too friendly, why wouldn't the guy? No, like, there's nothing like being too friendly or dressing up like how, even if I'm naked, do not touch me without me giving you consent to touch me. That's just
it. And the truth about it is, when you're, you know, victim of like molestation, abuse, any sort of harassment, a part of you sometimes might think, wait, what did I do? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're already beating yourself up about the situation. You don't need other people to be trying to victim blame you.
Exactly.
It's just not on. And I think like we need to cut it out. Like, everything that happens, men also should have the discipline to control themselves.
Yeah.
It's not enough to be like, oh, as the woman, you should be this. As the man, you too, you should have self-discipline. The same way I have self-discipline and self-control. The same way I have restraint. I don't go out in these streets tapping your ass. I don't go out in these streets hitting you in all different odd places. You know, I don't go around walking and following you to your destination. There's nothing cute about that when I've told you to stop. Do you know what I mean? It's just things like that. And I feel like we need to be teaching consent from such an early age. Because if not, we will get to a point where it's just like the so-called children who then grow up to be adults don't know or care anything about consent. Yeah. It's yeah. I think it's one of those things where it's one of those topics that I'm so passionate about, because I'm just like, I can only imagine, like, I've experienced this much. Imagine other people. You know, there's so many experiences I didn't even mention because I was just like, you know, there's no point. Like, there really isn't. It's just like, oh my God. I could go on for hours and days, but there is no point. The point of this video is, if you're a guy and you do this to women, you need to stop. Or even men, you need to stop.
And reevaluate your life, because it's ridiculous to live your life that way.
You're an abuser and you need to stop. You need to cut it out. You need to make sure you're seeking consent. Just because it's a club does not mean the person left their consent at the door. Just because they're wearing the shortest thing does not mean it's an invitation for you to touch. It's an invitation for you to harass them. Like, what happens to God having a good old conversation? Do you want to dance? No. Do you want to dance? Yes. Okay. Like, and then let that be that. Like, it's not that deep, you know. But yeah, I think that's my little rant for today. Like, that is my little rant. If the shoe fits, wear it. Like, that's how I'm feeling today, man.
It's not like letting that one out though, because I feel like now people are starting to talk about this a lot, because I feel like some people, even some guys, they actually didn't know that some things they were doing was wrong. Do you get? Like they already grew up that way. They already felt like they were entitled to women's bodies. They could do whatever they liked with it and things. There's some people that were just brought up in that way. But I feel like luckily now people are starting to speak up about these things. So I feel like people need to be educated on how to act, and those things are acceptable. Like, exactly. I don't even know why you have to actually educate someone on that. I feel like as a normal person, you should common sense. Like, you shouldn't do those things, basically. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Well, we're here to educate you. Like, let's just put it like, it's one of those. If you've never been educated on this topic, take this as your lesson. Okay, like, take this as your lesson, guys. If you've never been educated on the subject, and also if you've been in that situation where someone has grabbed you, harassed you, you know, molested you or raped you, it's not your fault. And I don't want anyone ever leaving this video thinking it's their fault. Like, I've been through that, and you know, it's bad enough that you go through so many things in your head thinking, oh my God, like, you know, would anyone believe me, or what, do you know what I mean, or things like that. It's just, regardless of what anyone in this world says, regardless of what you wore, it is not a factor. And I hate when people are online talking about, what did she wear? What does it matter? What does she look like? What does it matter? How old was she? What does it matter? Like, did she have curves? What does it matter?
Exactly.
It just doesn't matter. That is not the point. Let's stop victim blaming. Let's stop victim shaming. Let's just stop. You know, the perpetrator is the perpetrator. He is the guilty one. She is the guilty one. Whoever it is. Don't be putting that. I don't know why people like to quickly shift blame onto other people. Talking about like, oh, you know how men are. Like, no, I do not know how men are. Stop it. But yeah, if you've enjoyed watching this video, well, please subscribe. Please tap that bell for notification so you know every single time that I post. I'm also going to put Tanya's Instagram in the description bar below, so you guys follow Tanya. Yeah, if you guys want to connect with me on Instagram, see my fashion, beauty, and lifestyle content, please follow me as well. I will put that in the description bar below. Yeah, if you want to join in the conversation, which I think you guys should, if you would like to share your experiences, please leave it in the comment section. I do respond to all comments, so all comments are welcome. Also, if you are a guy or, you know, a man who now understands consent, put it in the comment section. I understand consent, okay? And if you just found out from us, well, you found out now. Better late than never, right? So at least you found out now. So yeah, but moving forward, you know, that we don't do them things.
Do that shit.
We really do not. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, tap that bell, and yeah, make sure you share this video. I think it is content the world needs to see. So yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tanya, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
They're going to be seeing more of you. I hope they're ready.
I know. Hopefully I don't over my video fright or whatever they call it. But
girl, don't worry. You get more comfortable. Like, you should see my old videos, man. At first, you know, it was like, oh, hi, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I was like, hi. You know what I mean? Like, you get over it. It gets easier. You get more comfortable. And then you're working the angles, and you know, I think now though it's a little bit of an adjustment for me because I'm currently using my phone. Yeah. But like, you actually get used to it. It's pretty cool. All right, guys. Thank you. Take care. Take care, hon. Bye.
Thank you.